Hi everyone. So today I want to discuss with you accountancy related topic 3-column cash book. How to prepare 3-column cash book and what are the rules and regulations to prepare 3-column cash book. So this is very important question and we are going to learn how to prepare this. Intermediate students are going to get 10 marks for this 3-column cash book in the final examination. And BCom students are going to get 12 marks if they attempt this 3-column cash book problem in the final exams. So let us learn how to prepare that. First of all, before going and learning how to prepare 3-column cash book, you should know actually what is cash book. Cash book means it is one kind of subsidiary book. There are 8 subsidiary books. So this cash book is one of the subsidiary book, and in cash book we are going to record all cash transactions. In every business there will be so many cash transactions. In case of some transactions, cash may come into the business, and in case of some other transactions, cash may go out of the business. So here we are going to record all cash receipts as well as cash payments in the cash book, so that business is going to know what is the opening cash at the beginning of the month as well as what is the closing cash in hand at the end of the month. So that is very important for every business to know about cash and cash dealings. So this cash book is very important for all organizations to prepare and to maintain in the business. So here we have mainly 4 types of cash books. One is single column cash book. So this single column cash book also is known as simple cash book. So here single column, one amount column is available in that cash book. Next, double column cash book. It is also called as 2-column cash book. In case of this 2-column cash book, 2 amount columns are available. And next, third one is 3-column cash book. We can also call it as triple column cash book. So 3 amount columns are there in the cash book. Okay. And last one is, that is completely a different cash book. That is known as petty cash book. Petty means small payments, small. Actually in business organization there will be small payments also. If they record those all small payments in other cash books, the transactions will become more and more. So those petty transactions, cash related transactions will be recorded in a separate book, that is known as petty cash book. Petty cashier prepares this petty cash book. Okay, so this is about all cash books. And if you want to prepare single column, 2-column and 3-column cash books, you must remember some rules and regulations. All rules are same to prepare first 3 cash books. Petty cash book is prepared in a different manner, but here we are going to learn how to prepare 3-column cash book. Okay, so let us go and learn. In accounting, if you want to prepare anything, we should draw pro forma. We should draw columns to record all those transactions in accounts. So 3-column cash book format or pro forma, you can see here on the screen. So this is actually 3-column cash book format. If you observe that, first column is date, next one is particulars, next LF. LF means ledger folio. Next 3 amount columns are there. One is cash, next one is bank, and next one is discount allowed. 3 amount columns on the debit side. From date to till discount allowed, that is known as debit side. Okay, and next credit side. Credit side we are going to write this side. First again same columns are going to be repeated here, whatever we recorded on the debit side. See, date, particulars, LF, cash, bank, discount received. So from cash to discount received, 3 amount columns are there. Okay, debit side 3 amount columns, credit side also 3 amount columns. That is why we are calling it as 3 column cash book. If 2 amount columns are there, we call it as 2 column cash book. If one single amount column is given, then we will call it as single column cash book or simple cash book. So this is 3 column cash book format. For single column, 2 column, 3 column, this is a format, but in case of 3 column cash books, 3 amount columns will be drawn, and 2 column cash book 2 amount column, single column cash book 1 amount column. But transactions whatever we record on the debit side as well as on the credit side, both are same in all the 3 books. Okay, so this format will be useful for all 3 books, and we can prepare with the help of these items all the 3 cash books. Let us learn what are those transactions actually we are going to record in 3 column cash book as well as other first 2 cash books. So debit side we record some transactions, credit side we record some transactions. Whenever we write any transaction in the cash book, the logic behind that is, if cash is coming into the business, we should record on the debit side. If cash is going out of the business, we should record on the credit side. Okay, so debit side we write if cash is coming into the business. If cash is going out of the business, we record on the credit side. That is a main logic behind preparation of this all first 3 cash books. So same logic we are going to apply in 3 column cash book also. In case of single column, 2 column, 3 column, same logic. If cash comes into the business, record the item on the debit side. That's it. Final. If cash is going out of the business, record the item on the credit side. Okay, very simple. Okay, so we should analyze the transaction, and due to that transaction, if cash is going to come into the business, record on the debit side. And if we, while analyzing the transaction, if we observe that cash is going out of the business, record the transaction on the credit side. That's it, simple. And I have given few transactions here through which actually cash comes and cash goes out of the business. Let us know about that. And before recording all those transactions, first we should write opening balances in the cash book. There may be cash in hand at the beginning of the month. Okay, so that cash we have to write first in the cash book. Which side? Debit side. If already any cash is there on the opening day, so we should write on the debit side of the cash book. Okay, you can see on the debit side, to balance brought down. We are bringing that cash from the previous month. Okay, we should record on the debit side to balance brought down. If any cash or any bank balance is there in the hands of the business at the beginning of the month, that should be recorded on the debit side always. How they give in the question? Opening date will be given, first date, cash balance, cash in hand, cash at bank. They mention like that. That is known as opening balance of cash or opening balance in the bank. We should always record that on the debit side only. We should mention it with the to balance brought down. Amount should be recorded in cash column if it is cash balance. If it is bank balance, we should record in bank column. Okay, hope this is clear. And when we write on the credit side balance brought down, so if you observe credit side also I have written by balance brought down. When we write that, if cash is available in the hands of the business or in the bank of the business, then we write on the debit side, it's fine. But if any overdraft balance is there for the business, overdraft means amount withdrawn from the bank more than our deposits. That overdraft is called liability for the business. If any overdraft balance is given in the question, always we should record on the credit side because that is liability, not asset. Okay, so how to write it? By balance brought down. I mentioned clearly in brackets overdraft. So if it is overdraft, we should mention in the we should mention on the credit side. Okay, So hope this is clear. If it is cash or bank balance, we will write on the debit side because that is a favorable balance. Business is having some cash. Okay, that is why we record on the debit side because that is asset for the business. If any overdraft balance is given in any question, that is known as liability. Liabilities we should record on credit side. Since that is opening balance, we write on the credit side by balance brought down. Any one we will have, otherwise both we have in the question. So we should see that and we should analyze that, then we should record on the proper side. Let us discuss remaining items. So after balance brought down, debit side as well as credit side, we have some items. If you see there, debit side 4 items are there, credit side also 4 items are there. What are those items? Those are different items, but what is the nature of those items? If we analyze those items, those transactions, cash is coming into the business as well as cash is going out of the business while the transaction is taking place in the business. Let us discuss what is that. Businessman invests some amount of cash in the business, we call it as capital. If businessman brings cash into the business, then cash is coming into the business, no? But it is what? Capital. If owner invests money in the business, we have to call it as capital. So capital is coming into the business. How capital comes? In the form of cash only. So whenever owner is bringing capital into the business, what is that? Actually cash is coming into the business. Our duty here is just to know whether cash is coming into the business or going out of the business. If it is coming, record on the debit side, that's it. If cash is going out, record on the credit side. So whenever owner is bringing capital into the business, cash is coming into the business. Which side we should record? On the debit side. That is why I recorded capital on the debit side. If any item we are going to write on the debit side, we should start with the word to. To capital account. Okay. So next. Sometimes owner may take some amount from the business for his personal use. According to accounting principles, we have to call it as drawings. If owner withdraw or takes money from the business for his personal use, then we have to treat it as drawings. So in case of drawings, cash is going out of the business. Owner is taking the cash from the business. So what is happening to cash? Think from the side of the business, cash is going out. So if cash goes out, we should record that transaction on credit side of the cash book. That is why drawings I recorded on the credit side. Hope this is clear for everyone. Okay. So next, business is selling goods. If business sells goods, automatically what is happening to cash? Cash is coming into the business. Okay. So in case if business sells anything, cash is coming into the business. If cash comes, which side we are going to record? Debit side. That is why I recorded sales on debit side. If business sells anything, automatically cash is going to come into the business. So we should record on the debit side of the cash book. Next, if business is purchasing anything, compulsorily it has to pay cash. So cash is going out. If cash goes out when business purchases anything, we should write that on credit side, because what is our principle? If cash comes into the business, record on the debit side. If cash goes out of the business, record on the credit side. We have to follow that principle compulsorily while preparing this cash book. So sales we record on debit side because cash is coming. Purchases we record on credit side because cash is going out. Hope this is clear. Next one. Any receipt. If business is receiving anything, it always receives in the form of cash only. For example, interest received. Business is receiving interest. So how business receives interest? In the form of cash. Cash is coming into the business now. We should record that interest on the debit side because Business is receiving interest. Receipt, that is a receipt. In case of any receipt, compulsorily cash comes into the business. We should record on debit side only. Okay. Next, payments. All payments we should record on credit side, because if business pays anything, cash goes out of the business, because cash will be paid. So cash is going out. Whenever cash goes out, that transactions we should record on credit side only. So that is why payments always on credit side. You can see there, payments are recorded on credit side. Any payment we should record on credit side only. Any receipt we have to record on debit side. Received cash from Mohan. Business is receiving cash. It is a receipt. Cash is coming into the business. You record on debit side. Cash paid to Varma. Paid. Business is paying cash. It is a payment. Record on credit side. Okay. Hope this is clear for everyone. Next, incomes. If any item is income, we should record on debit side only, because incomes always business is going to receive. Business is going to receive all incomes. When we call anything as income, whenever we are going to receive that, then only we call it as income, no? So incomes means actually through that incomes, business is going to receive some cash. So we should record on debit side. So incomes we should record on debit side. Expenses. Expenses will be paid always. We are not going to receive any expenditure. We are going to pay that. So whenever we pay expenditure, the cash is going out. That is why all expenses we are going to record on credit side. Incomes on the debit side, expenses on the credit side. Hope this is clear. So whenever you are going to analyze any transaction in the question, you should see what it is. Is it capital? Is it drawings? If it is capital, record on debit side. If it is drawings, record on credit side. And you have to analyze, is it sales or purchases? Okay. Accordingly, you should post on the respective side. Next, if it is a receipt, record on debit side. If it is a payment, record on credit side. So incomes and expenses also you should record on the proper side. So while doing any solution for any question, you should analyze the transaction first, and you should keep this format in your mind. Logic behind the format is just a simple thing, that is, if cash comes into the business, immediately you record on debit side. If cash is going out of the business, record on credit side. That's very simple. That is the only one logic we have behind this 3-column cash book. But transactions may differ. That is why I mentioned all the transactions. Mostly very important transactions that we may deal with are these 4 transactions on the debit side, 4 on the credit side. Okay. So these kind of transactions are going to be repeated in every question. That is why I mentioned these 4 and 4. And opening balances also. Opening balances we should record first, because on the opening day we are going to record that. And you should see whether we have opening balance or not in every question. If we have, we should see whether it is cash bank balance or overdraft balance. If it is cash or bank balance, record on the debit side. If it is overdraft balance, record on the credit side. Okay. So this is a format or pro forma of cash book. This format we can apply for single column cash book, 2-column cash book, 3-column cash book. So whenever you prepare any cash book, this is a format that we are going to use while preparing those cash books. Hope this is clear. If you have any doubts in this format, in the pro forma, and you can mention in the comment section, I will reply for that. Let us go and discuss the next one. Actually, whenever you are going to prepare single column, 2-column cash book, the format or pro forma whatever we discussed just now, that is sufficient. But if you are going to prepare 3-column cash book, that format is not sufficient. Along with that format, you should learn something extra. Then only you can prepare 3-column cash book perfectly. So what you must know apart from that format? You should keep that format in your mind while preparing 3-column cash book, as well as you should know regarding 2 items. One is contra entry, the other one is received check. You should know about these 2 also while preparing 3-column cash book. Then you can prepare 3-column cash book perfectly. Okay. So keep that format whatever we discussed just now in your mind, and concentrate on these topics whatever we are going to discuss now. Contra entry and received check. Okay. So let us discuss first what is contra entry. Contra entry means in every business, every transaction is recorded only one time in the 3-column cash book. Every transaction, whatever transactions are given in the question, each transaction we record only one time in the 3-column cash book. But contra entry transactions are recorded 2 times in the business. We record contra entry transactions 2 times. All other transactions we record only one time in 3-column cash book. But contra entry transactions we record how many times? 2 times. Hope this is clear. Every transaction we record only one time. It may appear either on debit side or on credit side. But contra entry transactions we are going to write 2 times. One on the debit side, the other one on the credit side. 2 times we are going to write. One time on the debit side, the other time on the credit side. That is why we are going to call those transactions as contra entry transactions. It will appear only in 3-column cash book. We don't have contra entry transactions in single column, 2-column cash books. We will get only these contra entry transactions in 3-column cash book. While preparing 3-column cash book, we should see whether we have contra entry transactions or not in the question. So if we have contra entry transactions, we have to write those transactions 2 times. One time on the debit side, second time on the credit side. Okay. So we should mention those contra entry transactions with the word C, letter C. Okay. Alphabets. We have C alphabet. So we should denote it by C. So this contra entry transaction should be denoted by C, letter C. Okay. So whenever we are going to write any contra entry transaction in the 3-column cash book, we have to denote it by C. Hope this is clear. And you may get it out. Okay, everything is fine. We know format, and we know where to record the transactions, and we know about contra entry also, that we should record 2 times in 3-column cash book. Then how to identify contra entry transactions? So there is a question, big question. How to identify contra entry transactions then? If we are able to identify, easily we can write 2 times. If we are unable to identify that contra entry transaction, we will have confusion whether to record 1 time or 2 times. So we should identify that contra entry first. So I have given 2 contra entries here. Okay, you can see the screen. 2 contra entry transactions are there. First one is cash or check deposited or sent or paid in the bank. Okay, this is one kind of contra entry transaction. You will get this type of transaction in your question. While preparing 3-column cash book, you should identify that. How they are going to give? Concentrate. Cash or check, anything. It may be cash or check deposited in the bank, or cash or check sent to bank, or cash or check paid into bank. They may give the sentence like this. Transaction will be given in this way. Cash deposited in the bank, or cash sent to bank, or cash paid into bank. They may give in this way, or in the place of cash, it may be check also. Check deposited in the bank, check sent to bank, check paid into bank. So whenever you find these kind of transaction in any question, that is contra entry. Remember that. Okay, don't skip it. Remember that and notice the transaction, record 2 times in the 3 column cash book. Is it clear? Okay, you should record 2 times in 3 column cash book. So hope this is clear for everyone. And again you may get a doubt, how to write it? 2 times, no, 1 time on the debit side, second time on the credit side. What to write there then? So we have to take the help of the journal entry. I mentioned journal entry also there. You can see the screen. What is a journal entry that we should follow for first contra entry transaction? Bank account data to cash account. So with the help of that journal entry, we should record that transaction. Bank account we record, and cash also we are going to record. These two we are going to record 2 sides. So to cash we record on debit side. Bank account we record on credit side by bank account. Okay, I am going to repeat this. Concentrate. So whenever you find this first contra entry transaction, we should take help of the journal entry and we should record two sides of the 3 column cash book. Bank account data to cash account is a journal entry. To cash we should write on the debit side. To cash account should be recorded on debit side of 3 column cash book. By bank account we should write on credit side. Okay. So by bank account on the credit side, to cash account on the debit side. We should write like this in 3 column cash book. Whenever you write to cash account, you should put the amount in bank column, because in case of 3 column cash book, 3 amounts are there, 3 amount columns are there. If you write to cash account, put the amount in bank column. By bank account, put the amount in cash column. Okay. So if you write cash, amount in the bank column. If you write bank, amount in the cash column. So in that way you are going to record the amounts in 3 column cash book. Hope this is clear. Let us move to next contra entry transaction. Next contra entry transaction is cash withdrawn from bank for office use. So here these 2 contra entry transactions are those transactions where the business is going to deal with the bank only. First one is business is depositing money in the bank. Second one is business is taking money or withdrawing money from bank only. For what use? Office use. For business use only. Okay. So here they may sometimes mention that cash withdrawn from bank. Sometimes they may mention cash withdrawn from bank for office use. They may mention in this way also. That is also contra entry transaction. That is second one. Okay, if you observe these two, first one and second one in any 3 column cash book, that is contra entry. Don't forget that. You should record 2 times. 1 time on the debit side, second time on the credit side. Okay, and sometimes they will give in 3 column cash book question that cash withdrawn from bank for domestic use or for personal use. That is not contra entry, that is drawings. Okay, so that is not contra entry, those are drawings. They should give clearly that this cash is withdrawn from bank for office use. If they don't mention for office use also, no issues, but for personal use is not treated as contra entry. They can mention like this, cash withdrawn from bank, that is contra entry, second contra entry. If they mention cash withdrawn from bank for office use also is a contra entry. For personal use, for domestic use is not a contra entry, remember that. Hope this is clear. And while posting this second contra entry transaction, we have to take the help of the journal entry that is given here. You can see the screen. Cash account data to bank account. To bank will be recorded on debit side of 3 column cash book. Cash account will be recorded on credit side, because cash account data means it should be recorded always on credit side by cash account. Okay, so cash account data that will be posted on credit side of 3 column cash book. How? By cash account. So to bank you write on the debit side, by cash you write on the credit side. Clear? Whenever you write bank, put the amount in cash column. Whenever you are writing cash, put the amount in bank column. So this is how you are going to post contra entry transactions in 3-column cash book, and this is the way how we are going to record the amounts in 3-column cash book. Hope this is clear. In case of any doubts, you can mention in the comment section. And this is the contra entry. And next, let us discuss the next one, received check. I already said you that whenever you are going to prepare 3-column cash book, you should know the pro forma format of that. And next, you should know regarding contra entry as well as received check. Till now we discussed pro forma as well as contra entry, and our duty is discussing received check. So what is that and how to deal with that in 3-column cash book? Let us go and discuss. So received check. Business is going to receive some checks also from any person or from any other business. Whenever business is receiving any check, it is received check. Receipts always we record on debit side of 3-column cash book. You record that. But we have 3 amount columns: cash, bank, discount. If we are receiving cash, we will put the amount in cash column. If we receive any check, we will put the amount in bank column. If any discount is received, we will put the amount in discount column. So this is received check. Everyone will finalize that it is going to be recorded in bank column only. Debit side because it is a receipt, and amount will be in bank column. Okay, because it is a check. All checks we record in bank column, but received check will not be recorded in bank column immediately. We should see something in the question. We should search for something in the question. What is that something? Let us go and discuss that. You see, I have given first one, check received is given in question. And immediately either beside that or under that they should mention that deposited in the bank. On the same day they should mention this deposited in the bank. Okay, check, for example, they are giving in the question like this, check received from Ramu. Okay, so whenever check is received from Ramu, we will record on the debit side, but where to put the amount, to decide that we should see one sentence, whether that is available on the same day. Okay, on the same day they should mention what is that, deposited in the bank should be given under same date. Then only we will record that check in the bank column. Remaining all checks we record in the bank column only, but received check we should not record immediately in the bank column. We should see that sentence. What sentence? Deposited in the bank is given or not given on the same date. If it is given, you go and record in the bank column. Check, you go and record in the bank column. Debit side, bank column. When, if deposited in the bank is given on the same date. Check is received on 13th April. Deposited in the bank also should be given under 13th April only. Then only you put that check in the bank column. Okay. If suppose they are not giving, they don't give the deposit in the bank on the same day. They did not mention that. Check received is given. Check received from Ramu. But under the same date they did not mention that. Whether the check is deposited in the bank or not. They did not mention. Under same date. Then you have to record that amount in the cash column, even that is a check. Okay. So you have to record that in the cash column if deposit in the bank is not given under same date. If they are not mentioning on the same date that deposit in the bank, then you should record that check in the cash column only, even that is check. Don't forget this point. Hope this is clear for everyone. While preparing cash book, 3-column cash book, you have to remember contra entry and received check also. If you know about these two, then only you are going to do your 3-column cash book perfectly. Hope this is clear for everyone. Okay. In case of any doubts, you can mention in the comment section. Hi everyone. In this video, I want to discuss with you Accountancy 3-column cash book. How to prepare 3-column cash book and I'm going to discuss with you one solution. I will show how to prepare that 3-column cash book by taking into account one question. Let us solve that. This is the format of 3-column cash book that we should draw before entering the items on the debit as well as on the credit side. There is a question also on the top. I have given one question. You can see that on the screen. Prepare triple column cash book. And dates are starting from December 1st, 2018 onwards. And it is going to end by 31st date. That last transaction is salaries 1000. You can see that. That is complete question. And we are going to enter those transactions in this 3-column cash book. How to record that actually? So let us do the solution so that you will understand it in a better way. So you have to concentrate on the topics actually what I discussed with you in the previous class. What is the format and what items we are going to record in 3-column cash book, as well as contra entry and received check. If you know about these three, format, contra entry and received check, then easily you can record all these transactions in a proper manner on the correct side in 3-column cash book, and you are going to get correct answer in the final exams. So here there is a question. I have given question on the top. Down, that is a solution actually. We are going to solve it now. So columns are ready. This is a 3-column cash book format. We are going to draw like this. First, date, particulars, LF, and after that 3 amount columns: cash, bank, discount allowed. So this is completely debit side columns. And next, after that, again same columns are going to be repeated: date, particulars, LF, cash, bank, discount received. So credit side items we are going to write on this side because that is a credit side. Okay, hope this is clear. This is a format that we are going to follow. Now we have to record all those transactions which are given in the question in 3-column cash book solution. Let us go and learn how to record that. So here we are now, and you first look into the question. Prepare triple column cash book. First, what date they have given and what is the transaction you can see on the screen. You concentrate on the question first. December 1st, 2018, that is a date. December 1st, 2018, that is the opening date actually in the month of December. So December 1st, 2018, what happened? They have given cash in hand 10,000, cash at bank 8,000. Two amounts related to two transactions are given, but cash in hand, cash at bank, those are opening cash and opening cash at bank on the opening day in the business. So these openings, opening cash as well as opening cash at bank, we are going to write on the debit side of the 3-column cash book. I discussed this item already in the previous video. You can watch that. Okay, opening balances, cash in hand, cash at bank are the opening balances of that particular business on the opening day of that month. So these are assets. So we should record on debit side only, always. And what to write actually? So I will show you what to write. This is a debit side. I am writing, you can see there. So date, we should record date in the date column. What is the date? December 1st, 2018, no? So we can write like this: 1-12-2018. So this is, we can write in this way. Okay, so we can write in this way that date. I'll just change the font size so that it will accommodate there. Wait for a while, I'll change the font size. Okay, so 1 dash 12 dash 2018, that is a date. So I mentioned date on the I mentioned date in the date column on the debit side. Why I recorded on the debit side? Because cash in hand, cash at bank, both are opening balances and favorable opening balances. Business is having cash in hand as well as in the bank. So that is asset, favorable amount. Okay, assets, both are assets. All assets have debit balances and we should record both on the debit side only. How to write it? To balance brought down. Okay, we should write to balance brought down. To balance brought down. Brought down will be shown B/D, means brought down. To balance brought down. So I am writing cash in hand, cash at bank, both on the debit side because those are opening balances. We should write on the debit side. How to mention? To balance brought down. Whenever we record opening balances on the opening day, always we should mention to balance brought down only. And these are actually assets, that is why I mentioned on the debit side, and favorable amounts. Okay, and cash in hand 10,000. You can see here cash in hand how much? 10,000. This 10,000 I am going to write in cash column because in case of 3-column cash book, if any cash transaction is there, we are going to record that amount in the cash column. Check transactions we are going to record in the bank column. Discount amounts we are going to record in the discount column. Hope this is clear. Let us record. Cash in hand, that is cash only. In hand, so they have some cash in the hand. We will record that 10,000 rupees in the cash column. I am writing, you can see that 10,000. Next, this cash at bank 8,000. Cash at bank 8,000. They have in bank. So we should record that 8,000 rupees in the bank column. Opening balance only, no. So to balance border already we wrote. Straight to that in bank column I am writing 8,000. Okay, hope this is clear for everyone. Let us move to next transaction. Next transaction is December 3rd. So on 3rd date, you can see there ma. December 3rd. Okay. Are you observing this? December 3rd, 2018. What happened? Sales. Sales 4,000 rupees. So we should first analyze it. And we should decide where to write it. Then we should record it on the proper side. I already told while explaining format. Sales always we should record on debit side of 3-column cash book. Okay. So clearly they mentioned it as a sale. Why we should write on the debit side? Whenever business sells, cash is coming into the business. If cash comes, automatically we are going to write on the debit side only. If cash goes out, we will record on the credit side. Here cash is coming. Okay, because whenever goods are sold by business, automatically cash is going to come. That is why sales are to be recorded on debit side. I gave in format also. I gave 4 items. There we have sales on the debit side. Let us record on debit side. What is the date here? Date is 3rd December. 3-12-2018. Okay, and let us write in particulars column sales. So whenever we write any item on the debit side, we should start with the word to, TO2. So that is why I am mentioning to sales account. Sales account. And again we have a doubt. Where to write the amount? Cash column, bank column or discount column? So sales, they did not mention whether those are cash sales or sales made by check. Whenever they don't mention anything, we have to assume that it is cash sale only. If it is check, they will clearly mention that it is sales made by check. So if they don't mention, it is what? Cash sale. Record in cash column. That's it. Final. Okay. Let us move and record in cash column. You can see here 4,000. Okay. What is the amount for sales? 4,000 only. So I am writing 4,000 in cash column. Let us go and discuss next one. 6th date. Cash received from Sunita 6,800. You can see mouse pointer. Okay. I am mentioning here. Just I am showing on 6th date cash received from Sunita 6,800. So where to write this? Clearly they have given cash received from Sunita. Received. Cash is coming. Received. Where we write? Debit side. I already told no receipts. If cash is coming into the business, we should record on debit side. Receipts we have to record on debit side. Incomes we have to record on debit side. Sales we have to record on debit side. Okay. Capital also we will record on debit side. So this is what cash received from Sunita. Cash is coming into the business. Record on debit side. Let us go and record on debit side. 6th date. 6-12-2018. So in particulars column we should mention item name. So cash received from Sunita. You will have a doubt whether to write cash received from or Sunita. Always we should mention what kind of transaction it is, that should be mentioned. Previous one is sales. No, we have mentioned sales. Here that is cash received from Sunita. Person name should be mentioned. Okay, so transaction name or person name or item name should be mentioned always here. So here Sunita name is there, so we are going to record Sunita. To Sunita account. To Sunita account. And where to write amount? What actually business is receiving cash? Okay, so we should put the amount in the cash column only. That is how much? 6,800. Let us write 6,800 in cash column. Next, along with the cash received from Sunita 6,800, they have given discount allowed also 200 rupees. So on the same date, while receiving cash, business is giving discount. So you can see here 6,800 I wrote in cash column, and straight to that in discount column we should write discount 200 rupees. I recorded that also. And let us go and record next transaction. Let us analyze that. December 9th, commission received 800. Commission received. So analyze the transaction. Received. How business is receiving commission? In the form of cash only. 800 rupees commission received. So what happened here? Cash is coming into the business or going out? Coming into the business. Commission received. Received. Okay. By noticing that word received, you should mention that commission on which side? Debit side. Because cash is coming into the business. Whenever business is receiving commission, cash comes into the business. If cash comes into the business, here we are going to write on the debit side. Let us go and write. Debit side. First date ma. 9th date. 9-12-2018. Next, in particulars column we should mention the item. Here commission received is given. Commission, we are going to mention commission account. To commission account. Okay. Where we should put the amount, they did not mention cash or check. Then we are going to record in cash column only. So cash column how much? 800. Next transaction. 10th date, cash deposited into bank. Cash deposited into bank. This is what? Contra entry. Okay, cash deposited into bank. That is contra entry. If any cash or check deposited into bank, sent to bank, paid into bank, that is first contra entry. That is what I explained in the previous class. Okay, so cash deposited into bank, cash paid into bank, cash sent to bank, or check paid into bank, check sent to bank, check deposited into bank. These all are contra entry. First contra entry I mentioned, I discussed with you all two contra entries. We have two contra entries. This is the first contra entry. So this should be recorded how many times? 2 times. One time on the debit side, second time on the credit side. Let us record that. And whenever this is a contra entry transaction, we take help of journal entry and we record here in the 3-column cash book. Cash deposited into bank. The entry is bank account data to cash account. For this contra entry, cash deposited into bank, that is first contra entry. What entry we should follow? Bank account data to cash account. To cash we should mention on the debit side. here, debit side, because all two we record, we post all the journal entries here onto the debit side whenever whenever any item is having credit place in the journal entry. Here we are going to mention on the debit side. Okay, we are going to post it on the debit side. So to bank account data to cash account, that is the entry. To cash we are going to mention on the debit side. So what is the date here? 10th date, 10-12-2018. Here we are going to mention it. To what is that? Cash deposited into bank. I said bank account data to cash account. We should write to cash account here. To cash account. And LF column we should record it with C, because it is a contra entry. No, we should denote it by C. Okay, whenever we write any contra entry in LF column, we should record C. And here cash account we wrote on the debit side. Whenever we write cash account, we should put amount in the bank column. In case of contra entries, we should record in a reverse manner. If you write cash, put the amount in bank column. If you write bank, put the amount in cash column. Here we recorded to cash account. We should put the amount in the bank column. So how much? 2000. I recorded in bank column. One time we recorded, debit side we recorded. Second time we should record on credit side. Move to credit side. Let us record on credit side. I am moving to credit side. Same date should be recorded, ma. Same date. What is the date here? 10-12-2018. Same date I recorded. And particulars column, what we are going to write, I already said we should take the help of journal entry here. What is the journal entry that we are following? Bank account data to cash account. To cash already we recorded on the debit side. Now we are going to write bank account. So whenever we write on the credit side, we should start with the word by. By bank account. And in LF column we should denote it by C, because it is a contra entry. And when we write bank account, we are going to put the amount in which column? Cash column. Same amount, 2000 rupees. Now we recorded this contra entry 2 times. One time on the debit side, second time on the credit side. Hope this is clear. Next, 14th date, ma. You can check here, this side. Continuation of question is there. 14th date, check issued to Murthy 9600. So check issued to Murthy. Issued means paid or given. Issued means given or paid. So check paid to Murthy. You take it as check paid to Murthy or issued. So given. Who is giving check? Business. If business is giving check to Murthy, cash is, instead of cash, what is going out? Check. So any of that is going out. No, we should record on credit side. So credit side, record date, 14th date, 14-12-2018. So we should write what? Check issued to Murthy. Whenever we have any transaction, after deciding where to write, then what we have to do? We should mention with a proper word, proper item in the account. So name of the item can be recorded, or person name, sales, capital. We should use those kind of words. Check issued to Murthy. Name of the person should be recorded. So we should start with a word by Murthy account. Okay. So where we put the amount? Since this is check, we should record amount in bank column. That is 9600 in bank column. And under that they gave discount also. Discount received is how much? 400. So we should record 400 in discount column. On the same day, along with the same transaction, discount also is given. So record 400 in discount column. Hope this is clear. Let us move to next one, that is 17th date. Withdrawn cash from bank for office use 1800 rupees. Yeah, here what is the date? 17th date. What is the transaction here? Withdrawn cash from bank for office use. So withdrawn cash from bank for office use. If in case of any dealings with the bank, what kind of dealings business have with the bank? It may deposit cash into the bank or it may withdraw cash from the bank. So these two are known as contra entry transactions. Here we have withdrawn cash from bank for office use only. If it is office use, definitely it is a contra entry. It is not for personal use. It is for office use. So withdrawn cash from bank for office use. It is second contra entry. I have given two contra entries to you all. Okay, first one is deposited into bank. Second one is withdrawn from bank. This is second contra entry. Second type of contra entry, that is what I mentioned to you. I explained that to you all, okay, in the previous video, and in the introductory part also in the same video I have given that lecture. You can go through that. So here withdrawn cash from bank for office use. This is second type of contra entry. Second contra entry. So let us actually we have to record this two times. Contra entries always we should record two times. One time on the debit side, second time on the credit side. We should record two times actually. So these two times we are going to record with the help of the journal entry. So what is the journal entry here for this transaction? Cash account data to bank account. That is cash account data to bank account. That is the entry we are going to follow to record this contra entry transaction. Cash account data to bank account. To bank we are going to mention on the debit side. Let us record that. Debit side. What is the date here? 17th. 17-12-2018. I will change this font size. I record a date here. Let us write the item. What item we are going to write? I said cash account data to bank account. To bank we are going to write here. To bank. Okay. So let me write here to bank account. Since this is contra entry, in LF column we should mention C. We should denote it by C. Then there is a question where to put the amount. I already told, in case of contra entry transactions, if you write cash, you put the amount in bank column. If you write bank, you should put the amount in the cash column. Here what we have written, we recorded bank. So where we write the amount in cash column. What is the amount here? Here the amount is, you can see 1800. So I am recording in cash column 1800. Is it clear? So we will go to next one, but before going into next one we should record this second time. So where we will write second time, we will write on the credit side. Okay, one time we finished, second time we will write on the credit side. Okay, so I already told we should take the help of the journal entry. So what is the journal entry? Cash account data to bank account. To bank we wrote here. Then what we should write? Cash. Where we write cash? On the credit side. Let us write that. So here we should record same date 17-12-2018 and record in particulars column cash account. So we should start with the word by cash account. Okay. So by cash account. And in LF column we should mention the letter C. We have to denote it by C because this is a contra entry. Contra entries always we have to denote it by C. Debit side how many C's are going to appear? Credit side we should get that many C's. So we can say that we recorded two times. Now cash we recorded Where to put the amount? If you write cash, you should mention the amount in bank column. Let us record in bank column. What is the amount? 1800. Okay. So let us go and discuss the next one. Day 20. You can see here in the question, day 20. Goods purchased from Rohit 3500. So goods purchased from Rohit. This is credit purchases. Okay, so goods purchased from Rohit. Business is purchasing goods from Rohit on credit basis. So whenever they are purchasing on credit basis, cash is not going out. They will pay on a later date. Now we should not record in the 3-column cash book. So only if cash comes and cash goes out, then only we are going to record the transaction here in the cash book. So here that is a credit purchase. You may get it out how I identified. Whenever they are mentioning goods purchased from Rohit, name of the person and purchases, in case of credit purchase only they mention name of the person also. If it is a cash purchase, along with the name they will mention for cash, goods purchased from Rohit for cash. If they don't mention the cash, then it is only name is given and purchase from Rohit is given, then that is a credit purchase if they don't mention for cash. Hope this is clear. If suppose they are giving goods purchased from Rohit for cash, you can record it is a cash purchases, but it is not cash purchase here in our question. That is credit purchases. In case of credit purchase, that should not be recorded in the cash book because cash is not going out. So don't record that because that is a credit purchases. Hope this is clear. Let us move to next one. 24th date. Received check from Sham. Received. By looking into that word received, we are going to record that on the debit side. Received. Which side we are going to write? Debit side. I explained in the format also. While explaining format, pro forma, I told you all that receipts, any receipt or received, we are going to record on debit side because business is receiving. What is coming? Either cash or check. So record on debit side. So what is that? Received check from Sham. Received check from Sham. So record on debit side because that is received. Receipt. What is the date? Date is 24th. 24-12-2018. And in particulars column we are going to write name of the person. Received check from Sham. Whatever we are going to write here, everything will be mentioned in the transaction only. That is available in transaction. We should select a proper item from that transaction. Received check from Sham. Sham should be recorded. So to Sham account. Sham account. And where to put the amount. So this is check. Received check from Sham. You will decide that it will be recorded in bank column. Definitely you are going to decide like that only. You are going to finalize in that way. But I told you, whenever we prepare 3-column cash book, we should concentrate on contra entries as well as received check. I told you all. Received check. This is received check from Sham. Any other checks immediately you can put in the bank column, but received check immediately you should not put. You should wait for a while. You should wait for a while and check for one sentence. What sentence? Whether that check is deposited into bank on the same day or not. You see here on 24th day, beside that transaction in brackets they mentioned deposited in the bank. Okay, so on the same day that check is deposited in the bank, on 24th day only they deposited that check in the bank. If they mention that, then you record in the bank column. If they don't mention deposited in the bank on the same day, even that is a check, you should record in cash column. But here they deposited in bank column, so you are going to record in which column? Bank column only. Okay, how much amount? 3,800. So I am writing 3,800 here. Next, last transaction, 31st date. Salaries. Salaries. They did not mention whether they are paying or receiving. So you will have confusion. But always business pays salaries. you have to think from the side of the business according to accounting concepts. There are so many accounting concepts. So here, according to business entity concept, we have to record accounting books from the side of the business. Any transaction we are going to analyze, we should analyze from the side of the business. Okay, so here salaries is going to pay who? Business only. Business pays salaries to employees, no? So salaries will be paid by business. Salaries. They did not mention whether they are paying or receiving. So it is what? Business is paying salaries. If business pays salaries, what is happening to cash? Cash is going out. So where you are going to write? If cash is going out, you should record on which side? Credit side. Go and record on credit side. Okay, because whenever business is paying salaries, what is the effect on cash? Cash is going out. So if cash goes out, we will record on credit side. Record on credit side date 31st 31-12-2018. So record on credit side. What we write? They mentioned in the question salaries. So you record salaries. Item name, person name, sales, purchases, capital drawings, we should mention those only. Don't mention any other thing. Okay, so salaries is an item name, item of expenditure. So expenditure name, we should record that only, salaries. But we should start with a word by salaries. Salaries account. Okay, and where we put the amount, they did not mention whether they are paying in the form of check or cash. So we are going to record in cash column. If they don't mention anything, we will assume that it is made by cash only. Salaries are paid by cash only. Okay, if it is check, clearly they will mention that salaries are paid by check. So they did not mention anything. So we have to record in cash column. How much? 1000 rupees. I recorded. So all transactions we recorded here. Okay, this is how actually 3-column cash book is going to appear. Okay, so after recording all the items on the proper side in the proper amount column, then our duty is balancing the account. How to balance 3-column cash book? Let us see how to balance it. So here you should do totals first. First, cash column. So debit side we have cash column. Now you can see my mouse pointer. So cash column. What are the amounts here? Debit side cash column 10,000, 4,000, 6,800, 800, 1,800. These are the amounts on the debit side. So let us add all those and let us get the total. So 10,000 plus 4,000 plus 6,800 plus 800 plus 1,800. So here the total is 23,400. 23,400 is debit side amount. Okay, so debit side total, if you add all these debit side cash values, you will get 23,400 students. Okay, so here I did in the calculator. You intermediate students have to use only manual calculations. You should not use calculators. But BCom students can use calculators. Okay, so here 23,400 is a debit side cash total. Debit side total. And let us go and add credit side also. Here if you observe credit side, we have cash column amounts 2,000 and 1,000. Only two are there. So what is the total of that? 3,000. What is the total of that? 3,000. Okay. So now we are going to balance debit cash with the credit cash. Hope this is clear. So debit side cash amount total is 23,400. Credit side total cash column total is 3,000. Which is more? Debit side cash is more. So more amount should be recorded both the sides in totals. Always more amount. We should record both the sides in cash column. Okay, more amount only. For cash total, both the sides we are going to record more amount. Let us write that. Here I am going to write debit side 23,000 400. $23,400. Here credit side also I am going to write so both the sides I recorded 23,400 for cash totals. Why? Because 23,400 is more than 3,000. So which side amount is less? The total amount is less in cash column on the credit side. Credit side is 3,000. So wherever we have less, you should move that side. I am moving credit side because credit side amount is less for cash column. So while balancing, we should follow all this procedure. We should follow this procedure. So then we can balance the account. We should check the totals both the sides for cash column. More amount we are going to write both the sides in totals. Then we should move to less amount side and we should record their balance carried down. So here I am writing credit side by balance carried down. Why I am writing on the credit side? Because credit side amount is less for cash column. Okay, date always is last date in the month. So what is the last date in December month? Last day as per calendar, what actually is the last day that will be taken. So 31st is the last day, 31-12-2018. And next where we should put, we are balancing cash column, so we should put that balance amount in the cash column. What amount we are going to write? 23,400 is a more amount. From that less amount should be deducted, 3,000. So if you deduct, how much you are going to get? 20,400. We should write there 20,400. Now both the totals will be 23,400. This side as well as debit side. Okay, this is actually is known as balancing of an account. We balanced the cash column. Now let us balance bank column also in the same way. So bank column, debit side total is how much ma? Debit side we have 8,000. You can see debit side bank column 8,000 plus 2,000 plus 3,800. What is the total? 13,800 is a total on the debit side for bank column. And credit side, how much we have? 9,600 and 1,800. So we should add these two, 9,600 and 1,800. We will get 11,400. Okay. So credit side is 11,400 and debit side bank column is 13,800. You tell me which side amount is more? Which amount is more? 13,800 is more, no? So debit side total is more. Both the sides you record that only. Debit side total only. Okay. So 13,800 we are going to record here. Why I am writing 13,800 here in totals? Because debit side amount is more. So the amount whatever is more, that should be recorded both the sides in totals. So debit side amount 13,800 is more than 11,400, that is credit side amount. So both the sides I am going to write 13,800 only. In which column? Bank column. Okay. Next you should see which side amount is less. Where amount is less? Credit side. Credit side, how much total we actually got? We calculated it as 11,400. 9,600 plus 1,800, that is 11,400. That is less than 13,800. No. Debit side total is, for bank column, debit side total is 13,800. Credit side total is 11,400. Credit side amount is less. So move on to credit side. We should write balance carried on. But already we wrote here for cash column. No. Again we should not write. Already it is there. So don't write it again. Okay. So straight to that. Straight to balance carried on. In bank column you can mention the balance amount. What is the balance amount? 13,800 minus 11,400. Okay, you should do that calculation. 13,800 is a debit side amount, total amount for bank column. Credit side amount is 11,400. You deduct it from that. You will get 2,400. You record it there. 2,400 is a balance amount. Okay, this is a balance amount. Okay, so next, cash column, bank column, both we balanced. Next, what we are going to do? We are going to balance discount column, but discount column we should not balance. What we are going to do? We are going to write totals only. In total, discount column we should not balance. Okay, that is why here I am writing dash. So here discount column we should not balance. So we should write what? Just we can put dash here. Otherwise you can leave it like that. Okay, so this I mentioned balance carried down. Which color I used here? Red color. That is the answer here. Okay, balance of cash that they have in hand is 20,400. In the bank is 2,400 at the end of the month. Okay, so let us total discount column also. Discount column total. How we are going to do? Just we are not going to balance it. We are going to just do totals of that. Okay, so just add it and record the totals. So debit side discount column total is what? Only one item is there, 200 rupees. We don't have more than that. Only one item, single item. Just to mention that only, 200. And go to credit side. Credit side, how much we have? Credit side we have 400 rupees. Only one transaction on the credit side. So record that only on the credit side in totals. If you have more than one, we should add all those and we should record in discount column. So here we have only one item. So what is the total of that? 400. Record 400 here. Okay. So that's all. We recorded that. We balanced it. We totaled it. Next, this balance carried on 20,400 and 2,400. We should record on the opposite side as balance brought down under the totals. So credit side we actually have written balance carried on because amount is less for both cash as well as bank on the credit side. So balance carried on is appearing on credit side. So balance brought down will appear on debit side under the totals. So I am going to write under the totals. You can see here. Date always. Next day of that 31st December. Next day is 1-2019. That is the next day. Next day for that balance carried on. Balance carried on is 31st. No, next day is 1-1-2019. So we will write 2 balance brought down. Balance brought down. How much? Same values whatever we recorded here on the credit side for balance carried on, same amounts we are going to write. 20,400 and 2,400. We are going to write those two values here. Okay, so I will mention this also by using red color. I will write. So this is the answer actually. Balance carried down, balance brought down. Okay. Hope this is clear for everyone. So this is how we prepare 3-column cash book solution. So if you follow this, you will get full marks in the final examination. So hope you understood. If you understand this class, like the video, share the video, subscribe the channel. Thank you.